Hello guys, something too tragic I'm sharing with you. Comedians entertain us. They are the best source of our pleasure. Still, we shouldn't forget that they're as we are. As we die, they do as well. Still, something quite unnatural in this story for sure. A British veteran stand-up comedian, Ian Cognito, has died on stage during a performance. He sat on a stool while breathing heavily before falling silent for 5 minutes during his show on Thursday. It was absolutely as if it was the part of his comic show. The 60-year-old comic had a serious setback. It took the audience minutes to realize it wasn't his comic scene. It was his real death scene. Have you encountered such a scene in your life? Let us know by commenting down the video. Compere Andrew Bird said the crowd at the Atic bar in Bicester had thought it was a joke and continued to laugh unaware something was wrong. South Central Ambulance Service confirmed Cognito was pronounced dead at the scene. Mr. Bird, who runs the Lone Wolf Comedy Club event at the venue, said Cognito had not been feeling well before the gig started but insisted on going on stage. He was like his old self. His voice was loud. "I was thinking he's having such a good gig," Mr. Bird said. Mr. Bird said Cognito had even joked about his health during his set, telling the audience, "Imagine if I died in front of you lot here." It was Mr. Bird who first went on stage to check if his fellow comedian was okay. Everyone in the crowd, me included, thought he was joking, he said. "Even when I walked on stage and touched his arm, I was expecting him to say boo." Once it became clear something was wrong, 2 off-duty nurses and a police officer began chest compressions and an ambulance was called. Audience member John Ostojak said only 10 minutes before he sat down he joked about having a stroke. He said, "Imagine having a stroke and waking up speaking Welsh." Mr. Ostojak said, "We came out feeling really sick. We just sat there for 5 minutes watching him, laughing at him." Mr. Bird said dying on stage would have been the way the veteran comic would have wanted to go, except he'd want more money and a bigger venue. Cognito, whose real name was Paul Barbieri, was born in London in 1958 and had been performing since the mid-1980s. Fellow comedians have paid tribute, describing him as a proper comic and praising his support for up-and-coming acts. 8 out of 10 Cats presenter Jimmy Carr paid tribute to Cognito, saying, "I'll never forget his kindness when I started out." Comedian and columnist Mark Steele said the comic was a difficult, awkward, hilarious, troubled, brilliant sort, a proper comic. BBC Radio 4 Extra's Comedy Club presenter Arthur Smith said Cognito was hugely admired by his fellow comics. Rufus Hound said on Twitter, "We have lost one of the greats." Shappi Korsando said it was such a sad shock and Cognito was one of the people who made this job brilliant. Such a sad shock and Cognito has died. One of the people who made this job brilliant from the very beginning has gone. I got so excited to be on bills with him and watch him work and have a beer after. And those eyes, those beautiful eyes. Much love to all friends and family. Little Britain actor and comedian Matt Lucas wrote he was in shock at the news and described Cognito as brilliant and provocative and entirely original on stage. Birmingham's Glee Club comedy venue also paid tribute. We're all very sad to hear of the passing of the legendary Ian Cognito. He was original, always hilarious, sometimes offensive, and the true definition of one of a kind. Cognito, who was based in Bristol, won the Time Out Award for stand-up comedy in 1999. Mr. Bird said he acted like he was bitter on stage, but he was nothing like that. He was in it for the love of stand-up. News taken from BBC.